the Ron Miller Race Car Studio, this is the Hammer Down Racing Report. And now your hosts, Scott Hammer and Ron Miller.
Welcome, race fans, to the Hammer Down Racing Report. Everything okay over there?
A little less volume?
Some last-minute scrambling as we prepare for tonight's broadcast. How's it going? Scott Hammer in the studio alongside Ron Miller. And a special guest, didn't even know what's coming, Jimmy Ward Jr. in the studio as well.
Yeah.
He says he's spectating, but we may...
We stuck a microphone in front of him, and he's got some earphones, so...
Tried some different settings on our Facebook. It actually, it's a little squish. It's not the widescreen. That's what I see is different. But at least it's not jerky. I guess we had some dropouts and some issues with our live broadcast last week on Facebook. So I think we've got those worked out. Now I just need to choose the right size next time so the video fills things. Anyways, welcome, race fans. Live from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. It's the Hammer Down Racing Report for Thursday, May 23rd. This is show number 85.
I was going to say, after 84 shows, you've still got to read that, Scott?
I do.
You're a true radio guy, man.
Live on 3 platforms, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter and Periscope. Technically it's 4, but Twitter and Periscope are like the same thing. So.
But you forgot one, Spotify.
But we're not live on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
We're live on the video on those platforms. We are available on demand on pretty much any of your favorite podcasting platforms, including Spotify, iHeartRadio. If you had to choose one, pick one, we would prefer you use iHeartRadio.
Yeah,
because they're kind of supporting us, and that's yeah. If they go out of business, then we probably don't have a show.
And we don't want that to happen.
No. Tonight on the show, we are going to talk to Jay and or Mike.
Or maybe both of them.
Mike and or Jay, yeah, at Great Lakes Crate Series, a brand new late model crate series that they're working on, a 602. And that's pretty much all I know about the series.
Do we know if they'll have any shows this year?
That's what we're going to ask them.
Okay.
I don't think they have anything booked yet for this year. They're from what I gather, they're planning on kicking this off in 2020, but we'll talk more to them. They got a bunch of Michigan tracks, Oakshade, and others that I guess they
have expressed an interest.
Yeah. So we'll see what that's all about. A learning expedition. It was funny because after I got done with the Bomber A Main on Saturday, I was getting ready to walk back up to the tower, and these 2 guys came over and like, yeah, are you the guy that does that show? What do you hear about the Great Lakes Crate Series? Like, nothing really. Did you hear anything bad about him? Like, no. It's like, oh, we're the guys that we're calling in. So it's like, I see what you're doing there.
It was a little fishing expedition.
Yeah. We're also expecting a call a little bit later from Silver Bullet Speedway up there in the thumb of Michigan. They have a big IMCA modified show.
That'd be right here, folks.
Right, yeah, right about up in here. If you're familiar with the map of Michigan. Give Ron Miller Race Cars a call. 734-856-7223. That's 856-RACE. Are you caught up on everything?
We're getting caught up. A couple of projects, and this no racing stuff is starting to wear thin, Scott.
Yeah, you need some people to tear up some cars so you get some more business, right?
Well, at least they could want to improve them. Hey, let's make some updates.
Speaking of which, I figured out what my problem is. I think I need new tires.
Really?
Yeah, I've been running the same tires since
2 years.
For about a year, and it's the same tires I used at Sandusky on New Year's Day.
You know what? I sell tires.
Do you?
And I have them in stock.
Awesome. There you go. What kind of tires do you have?
Towel City Recaps, $85 a piece.
There you go.
As opposed to those other guys, which are more expensive.
That's why you got to shop Ron Miller Race Car, 734-856-7223. If you want more information on Hammer Down Race Report, want to become a sponsor, or just need to figure out how to listen to us, HammerDownRacingReport.com.
Trying to go up or down, Jimmy?
I'm just being careful not to get thrown is what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
We do have dangerous chairs in the studio.
That's the one that takes you down.
Yeah.
So you're just going down so that
So my foot. Can,
so that if something fails, you don't have as far to fall.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
The Hammer Down Racing Report Dirty 30 is coming up on October 3rd at Sandusky Speedway. I have the list of people who have entered. I just got that a few hours ago.
We're pretty excited
Doug
about
Dock,
it.
yeah. So we'll find out who won the how many, because I think last week we were asking how many registrants we would get between last week's show and this week's show. If you do plan on racing UMP late models, bombers, Fremont dirt trucks, and front wheel drive.
Right, front wheel drive. Don't narrow it down to four cylinders. It's
front wheel drive,
kind of wide
dirt
open.
versus the asphalt guys. Head on over to Sandusky Speedway /Dirty30, or go to HammerdownRacingReport.com. I got a link there. I got a link pinned on our Facebook page.
Yeah, I think our Facebook page is a sticky, so it should be right at the top.
Should be close to the top there. You can click on there. It'll take you right to the page where you can fill out a form, get yourself pre-registered.
Doesn't cost a dime, nothing. They just want to know that.
I just want to know.
Yeah, everybody wants to know.
And we're going to promote who's going to be coming out there.
If you're
Get your name on that list.
If you're interested, sign up. Doesn't cost anything.
You want to know who's pre-registered so far?
Me.
You're on here, yeah. I'm on here.
Is my kid on there?
Corey McCoy is on here. Steve Miller's on here.
Okay.
Dylan Burt.
Okay.
Is already registered, winner of the B-Main at Oakshade last week.
Is Jimmy Ward on there?
Scott Robertson is on here. Kirk Dickey is on here.
Yes.
And that's it so far.
You mean Jimmy Ward hasn't
Jimmy Ward
signed up
is
yet?
not on. I mean, we got a little time, but...
You know, I encouraged him to do that, and he kind of let me down. You could say, I'm sorry, Jimmy.
Yeah, sorry.
Coming up a little bit later on tonight, we will have the weekend weather pit stop with Ryan Weekman from WTOL.
Pretty encouraging.
The subject in the email I got back from him when he sent me an email to let me know it was done, said, "Don't shoot the messenger." It's not all bad, though. There is some okay news, so stick around for that.
A couple of bright spots.
Yeah, a couple of bright spots. Let's talk about what happened this past weekend.
Okay.
We had some racing happen.
Yes.
Attica Raceway Park was in action Friday night. National Sprint Car Hall of Famer Jack Hodenshield passed Joey Saldana. Joey Saldana.
Yeah.
I always said Donna when I worked at Flag City.
Right.
Years ago. Past Joey Saldana coming to the checkered to win the 410 Attica Fremont Championship Series, $4,000 to win that. So that was pretty cool. I guess I had a lot of top-notch drivers out there. John Ivey, he got another 305 win. He won the Attica Fremont Championship Series for the 305s, $1,000 to win that.
Congratulations, John.
Doug Drown held off Rusty Schlenk for the Attica Wayne County Late Model Series win.
Scott, I didn't see the video of that, but I guess it was a really good race, first and second. If you can find a link to it, I guess it's worth watching.
I did not know that. I haven't seen it either. I'll have to check that out. A lot of good stuff from this past weekend. Lima Land.
From your point of view, Jimmy, was it a good race?
Yeah, I had a...
Were you there?
Yeah, I was...
Oh, wait, you were racing.
Yeah.
He made the show.
I had a front row seat for that one. I think I might have gotten Rusty's way a little bit, but...
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay.
He gave me a hard time on Saturday, so...
I had a first happen to me on Saturday night.
You did?
I'll tell you about that in a little bit.
Really?
Lima Land rained out.
Yeah.
It was reported...
That's it. Bait me. Go ahead.
The track had 6 inches. It's called the Tees. The track had 6 inches of rain on Thursday night last week. So, and then a few hours ago, they've already canceled for tomorrow. So Lima Land has yet to get a race in this year.
I guess a lot of places around have standing water from
this morning.
From this morning's
some pretty good
little
rain.
sprinkle, yeah.
So let's move ahead to Saturday's action. Rusty Schlenk picked up the season-opening UMP late model win at Oakshade over Ryan Missler, who finished second. Brandon Gregory, who will be in the studio next week, was the UMP Sportsman winner. Holland, Ohio's Jeff Oakes picked up the Bomber A main win, defending champion. How many? Like 5-time champion?
That one was, boy, that one was kind of predictable.
Was it?
Yeah, he drew a number one pill for the redraw on the feature, started front row, and boy, he just never looked back. And he looked, he never missed a beat from last year.
So thanks to him, that was the first time I've ever been lapped in a race.
Really?
Yeah.
He was the only one, though?
He was the only one, yes.
Okay. Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of.
I think Adam Noonan was second.
Yep.
But yeah. So that happened. Dylan Burt. Did you see the B main at Oakshade? It's 2 cars were left, and it was the most exciting race of the night.
I saw Derek Zuver go upside down, and I saw them roll the squad, and I thought, man, I'm cold, and it's time.
Oh, you missed out on a great
That's
race.
what I hear.
John Martis rolled to a stop. There was 3 cars that took the green flag after that rollover because there was like 5 cars I think originally started. So 3 cars took the green. Martis rolled to a stop, and then it was just between Dylan Burt and Zach Stotts.
Right.
And those 2 had a pretty good battle. There was a photo finish right there at the end.
I heard
with 2
that
cars.
it was just inches.
So Dylan Burt got the win there, and he's already signed up for
the Dirty 30.
Yeah. So we already got a feature winner signed up.
Dylan said when he went over to the scales, he asked them who won because he didn't know.
Yeah, it was close. It was close. Fremont Speedway. Buddy Kofold took the checkered flag in Saturday's 410 Attica Fremont Championship Series feature event to claim the $4,000. It was only his second visit to the track that Action built. So, not a bad
obviously, seat time at Fremont isn't all that important.
Paul Weaver was the 305 winner for the Attica Fremont Championship Series, and Sean Villani won his second dirt truck feature of the season.
Just what a surprise there.
Yeah. Sandusky Speedway finally got a full show in Amherst, Ohio. I was just in Amherst yesterday. I'm going there tomorrow. Yeah, the track.
Watch the kid.
Watch the kid run some more track stuff. They didn't qualify for anything yesterday, but he's got one more event tomorrow to try and qualify for state.
Maybe could.
So we'll see. Amherst, Ohio's Carl Smith won the Lake Erie Stocks feature. Brandon Holcomb took the checkers over Dan Smith and the Renegades. Tanner Smith from Wellington, Ohio was the beginner stocks winner, and Lorain, Ohio's Charlie Schultz took the win over Dylan Watson in the crate sprints. At Flat Rock, 3-time champ Rob Remick won the 250-lap Enduro. Defending track champion Bill Early won the figure 8 feature, and Caleb Barron scored his first victory in the street stock A main. B main, it was 2008 champ Ian Jezilo.
Jezilo. All
right, we'll go with your guys' pronunciation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Eldora was also in action. Jared Horseman won the 360 sprint. 360 sprint. The 360 Sprint Invader feature on Family Fireworks Night. Dylan Woodling took the checkers in the mods, with Jerry Bowersock and Brian Ruhlman finishing second and third. Paul Pardo was the winner of the Eldora Stock feature. Toledo Speedway in action 2 nights last weekend. Saturday, they had the qualifying for the ARCA race, and then they had the late model sportsman. Tommy O'Leary won the late model sportsman feature with Ron Allen second and Mike Young finishing in third. Sunday, the Sioux Chief Power Packs 200 completed 152 of the 200 laps before the skies opened up and shortened the race. Did you make it back to your car before?
No,
yeah, we didn't either.
Scott, if I had jumped in the shower and stood there for 10 minutes, I couldn't have been any more wet.
I was very impressed they actually got 152 laps in, though.
Yeah.
Given the way the weather looked.
I thought it was going to be 100 and pull the plug.
Yeah. But pretty good showing there for Chandler Smith, who led 140 laps and was declared the winner after the 152, after the rain came down. Right. 152 laps. Ty Gibbs, grandson of Joe Gibbs, finished second. I was pulling for him. He kept closing everyone, but he just couldn't quite get there.
Couldn't close the deal.
Last week's guest, Haley Deegan, was caught up in an early wreck with Joe Graff Jr., and actually I have some audio of her describing exactly what happened.
Really?
Yeah. First, let's check out. This is what she said on MAV TV after getting out of the car, right after it, while she was being interviewed on pit road.
17-year-old young lady.
Yeah, in her first ARCA start.
We were fine. We were doing good. Kept getting held up by a 77. Everyone warned me that he was kind of a douche driver. We were on his door and just chopped us down. He kept chopping us down. I was at his door multiple times and he just kept going and going down. So kind of saw that one coming, but I had to start moving here sooner or later because he was holding me up. So happens.
And you had made a comment when you were watching her race that she's being really nice.
Yeah,
because she kept getting a run off it too, and then
Scott, the first 10 cars straight from the green, were in a pack, and I was amazed at the car control that young lady had. Very, very good. And she got to the rear bumper of the 77 car, and he chopped her a couple times. And I said, you know, Scott, I'd have been on his back bumper. And I'm not sure. When she got to his door, I probably would have checked up one more time, and then I'd have moved him.
Did you hear what she claimed her spotter said?
Yeah, I did.
Well, here, let's hear what she had to say.
I go out there and I'm trying to work this guy on the inside. Kept getting good runs off of 2. Would try to run the inside on 3 and just kept chopping my nose. Probably at least 6-7 times in the matter of 15 laps. And so I just keep trying, and officially I was like, I don't know what else I can do. So I got a really good run, better than I had before. Had the inside. He chops my nose again, kind of wiggles himself up. It didn't help that I got hit from behind. And ended up putting us both in the wall, ended both our races. And my spotter was over there telling his spotter, hey, you better move before we have to move you. And I was like, I didn't want to knock the nose off my car, but then it turns out after the race, his spotter came up to my spotter and was like, hey, I'm sorry, the team owner was on the radio just saying to the driver, the number 77, don't let this girl pass you, don't let this girl pass you. So
Yeah.
I reached out to the Joe Graff's team owner there. I did not get a response.
Really?
I offered to have him come on the show, and I basically wanted his side of the story.
Sure.
So, but I got no response.
The girl showed an awful lot of patience and a huge amount of car control. I said it before, I'll say it again. She is the real deal, and NASCAR, watch out, she's coming.
So, and she ended up getting credit with the 18th place finish, which was last. It seems the car count was down. I saw it was in my Facebook history. You know how those memories pop
Sure.
up every once in a while? There was a picture I took of the starting lineup from like 3 years ago. I think it was 24 cars or something like that.
Right.
But the car count seemed down. That was.
I've watched a couple of the ARCA shows on MAV TV, and
Have they been down at all of them?
yes,
Okay. Well, tonight ARCA's at Charlotte for the General Tire.
that could be a big
150.
deal.
That starts at 9 o'clock, so after you're done listening to us, eat some dinner or something, and then you can check that out on Fox Sports 1 or FS1, depending on what you want to call it.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what they're branded now.
my TV says it's FS1.
All right, we got to get through this real quick, and we can give Mike and Jay a call from the Great Lake Crate Series. Lucas Oil Late Models, Hudson O'Neill passed Jonathan Davenport with 18 to go to win at 34 Raceway last Thursday night. Davenport led all 50 laps to win at 300 Raceway on Friday night. Saturday's race at Deer Creek was canceled due to rain. Next up was supposed to be the 3-day Lucas Oil Show Me 100 weekend at Lucas Oil Speedway in Wheatland, Missouri. But
That one's not happening.
Did you see the video we had
Boy,
from that?
I did.
Looked like a possible tornado went through and ripped up grandstands and
just made a
trailers.
horrible mess.
Yeah, so that
Scott,
has been canceled for this weekend. I guess they're talking about coming up with a makeup date for that. I hadn't seen that yet, though. What were you going to say?
Did you have any other information on the winner from the Lucas Oil race?
Which one?
The winner.
The winner?
Yeah.
Hudson?
Yeah. Yeah. No, no other news on Hudson O'Neill.
It was a busy week for me. I didn't do any digging.
Leaving the racetrack.
No, I did not hear this.
They were on the road just outside of town, I guess, and a car hit some water. Hydroplane spun in front of them. They took the ditch, beat the crap out of their hauler. I'm not sure that they're back on the road yet.
I had not heard this.
Yeah, that's
wow.
That was. It was on Facebook. There were some pictures of it. Didn't do the truck any good.
I wouldn't think it would.
It's repairable. I
Bring
guess
it around; it'll buff out.
I guess it was one of those deals where they had two great big tow trucks and a crane to get the truck out of the ditch.
Wow, that's some crazy stuff.
Not cheap, that one.
Next up will be 3 days at Columbus, Mississippi's Magnolia Motor Speedway. May 30th through June 1st. That's next Thursday through the 1st for the Clash at the Mag. That's next up for Lucas Oil.
The way the
So
weather's
he's got some time, I guess.
The way the weather's been, it could be March.
Yeah. World of Outlaw Morton Buildings late models were at Muskegon County, or were supposed to be at Muskegon County on Friday night. That show was postponed to Sunday, and then it was canceled again due to the rain. They did race Saturday at Wayne County Speedway. Brandon Shepard picked up the win there. The next race scheduled for the World of Outlaw late models is Friday, May 31st at Cochran Motor Speedway in Georgia. Then Saturday, the 1st of June at Lancaster Motor Speedway, South Carolina. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprints. The Pennsylvania Posse versus the Outlaws in the Morgan Cup at Williams Grove Speedway. David Gravel beat the Posse on Friday. Lance DeWeese led the entire distance to win on Saturday. And Sunday's Weedsport.
Come on, Scott. You can say it.
Was rained out. So that didn't happen. Tuesday, they were at Bridgeport in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, or they were at Bridgeport. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania native Danny Dietrich held off David Gravel, Carson Macedo, and Donnie Schatz to pick up his 5th World of Outlaw win. Next up's the dirt track at Charlotte tomorrow and Saturday. And then we can wait to we'll get to NASCAR and IndyCar stuff a little bit later. How's that? How about we bring up Jay and Mike here from the Great Lake Crate Series and see what that's all about? Have you've seen anything about that? I've
just heard about it. You were telling me a couple of weeks ago that they were going to be on, and it sounds like a kind of interesting series. So
I know you're big in the whole crate deal to try and save money.
I'm into cost containment, and not necessarily crate engines, but whatever can be done to keep racing the costs in check.
Hey, who's this? Is this Mike or Jay?
Both.
Oh, both. All right.
All right.
So on the phone with Mike and Jay, apparently from the Great Lakes Crate Series. Are you guys both the founders of this?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is this? The floor is yours. What is this Great Lakes Crate Series all about?
It's about bringing racing back to racing. About 2 years ago, we were sitting around in the race shop one day, and we were talking about, it sure would be nice if we could have competitive racing and, get out there and have fun again. And the idea got taken real serious, and we started building a series. It doesn't. I don't mind being out. Somebody out driving me or somebody setting their car up better. I don't want to be beat by the check they wrote. So the Crate Series is about putting racing back to racing, getting the fans involved, making it competitive. We're all on the same playing field.
Okay. What's your guys' background as far as racing goes?
Grandfather, father. We raced for a few years. Got away from it for a few years when our father had a stroke, and the family kind of pulled back from racing. I went into the dark days and went drag racing for a while.
Did you say the dark days?
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
He did, Scott. I heard him.
I was just making sure.
I thought that'd be a good wording for this show.
Okay. Hey, we got nothing against drag racers.
No, we've had a couple of them on the show.
We just, the original ideals behind the 602, 604, the concept behind it has kind of gotten muddied up a lot. As I'm sure Ron's smiling, he knows what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So they save you a couple of bucks on the engine, and then you spend thousands on things that could make it a tenth of a second better.
Right. Yeah, write a check and beat everybody.
Exactly.
And that's what we looked at 2 years ago. It was, the ideal, the concept is gone from where it originally was, and it's time to put it back.
It's also got a lot to do with fans. If you go to a track anymore and you look at the fans, you got 3 or 4 guys out front, they're going to lap everybody, so nobody's really watching the race. They wait till a caution comes out or the white flag comes out and they'll look back at the race. Whatever happened to that heads-up, door-to-door racing? Get the fans involved. Keep them glued to the track. Part of this has got to be about that. Bring them fans back to racing. If you start looking at grandstands, fans are getting empty.
So you're saying...
future generation of racing is an issue, too.
if we don't start helping support what we love, which is racing, we're not going to be able to have the future generation even wanting to do it.
So you're saying that better racing is going to help bring that fan base back up, and NASCAR's been trying to do that for years, trying to manufacture competitive racing.
Obviously, NASCAR's been manipulating everything they can to bring the fields back together, but quite honestly, their best years were when somebody lapped the field.
Well, yeah, but it depends on who was lapping the field, didn't it?
Yeah, oh, absolutely it did. Absolutely it did. So what are your? Let's talk nuts and bolts. What are your plans to bring the costs down and the excitement back up?
Keep that cost down. Lock them motors down. Lock them carburetors down. Lock the chassis down. Get rid of them shocks. You know, the canister shocks. No more $6,000 and $10,000 shocks on a car.
Okay.
That's the spec of fuel. Control, like Ron said, put as much depth into put a strangle on it, and we are one of the only series I know that after the drivers' meeting, everybody has to go up. Every driver has to go up to the stands for a 15-minute fan interaction before we even take the track.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And you know, we tried to base this a little bit on, we know people are going to try to cheat, okay? It's going to happen.
That's called racing.
That's racing. You look for a way to cheat. You try to bend the rules. So what we've done is we've set it up where, okay, let's say, you know, I take my car out there and I cheat and I get caught. I'm going to get a fine for cheating. That fine is going to go back to the points fund for the drivers. If you're going to cheat them other drivers, you're going to pay them other drivers.
For a long time, I've been a proponent of reeling even the super late models back in, knocking the aero dependency out of the cars. Have you addressed that at all? And I understand it's not as big of an issue with the crate cars because the motor's not there. Additionally, what are you guys looking at motor-wise? 602, 604?
We're going to run a 604 that we've done some pretty...
602.
Or excuse me, a 602.
Okay.
I
Are you sure about that?
Because I got a guy that called me and said, are you guys going to have 604s later too? We're going to run a 602 that we've done some pretty good research with an engine builder. The engine is built exclusively for our series. So when I say we're going to stick with the 602s and run that engine, you can't touch them. I mean, it's pretty bulletproof. We've had a braiding system made and everything. If you touch them, it's a disqualified motor. You can't even call the engine builder and buy your motor.
Is it an engine that's sealed from GM, or is it a blueprinted motor that your engine guy has done?
Our engine guy has done these, and they have a sealing system on them for us. You can't call the engine guy and build your motor or buy it. You have to buy it through the series. They have a special serial number system and a special sealing system designed for our series.
Okay.
And we have a scanning system that on the intake of these engines, there's a barcode scanner. We can scan that engine at every track and tell you when it was freshened, when it was purchased, everything. Our series is the only ones who knows what drivers have what engines because we assign them to them.
Okay. Now, I know it's still in its infancy, but what's your target price on an engine package?
Engine and carb together, because we are going to run it. Willys went out of their way to build a spec carb for the series at $865.
For the carburetor.
Right. The engine and carb out the doors, tax and all, is $5,087.
Okay.
That seems not bad.
So that goes on beyond being in your infancy. You've got that pretty well targeted.
Oh, it's locked in.
Okay.
Do you guys have finalized rules at this point, or are you still massaging them?
They are posted on our website.
Okay.
Now, I know valve springs are a bit of an issue with that 602. Have you addressed that at all to where you can get some longevity out of them?
Yep. That was one of the things that we had questions about talking to other guys with 602s. So when we went back to the engine shop, we said, look, we know valve springs are a problem. I said, I've talked to guys that had to rebuild, do valve spring jobs on these the first year. So we kind of had some strength and some things added to make these a little tougher.
Okay.
So we can get a little more use out of them. The idea behind this is, look, if you go racing and you spend, $30,000 on a motor and $10,000 to rebuild it every year, You got to win a lot of races to pay for that rebuild.
Yeah, it's about the
We got to
checkered
take that
flags.
out. We got to take that out. You got to get where you can go out and you can race, and you got a good chance, just as good a chance as anybody at winning the money and doing good in the show. If you take out, you can come with a $300,000 toter home, but when that car comes out of the trailer, it's going to fit the rules just like everybody else is already running.
I understand.
So do you guys have any events scheduled for this year yet, or are you guys shooting for 2020 to get things started?
2020 is our focus.
Yep.
And it will continue to be. We don't want to do anything that would jeopardize the money, effort, time spent on, prematurely releasing anything. But we do have some considerations to run a couple races in 2019.
Okay.
Tire rule, any thoughts of containing prices and costs there?
Well, you're going to be locked down to a Hoosier M40 on the right rear.
Okay.
Anything goes on the other three, but no soaking, no cutting, no grooving, no siping.
So it's a no-touch tire, all you can do is grind it?
Yep, flat grinding only.
Okay.
So do you have any tracks committed to running events in next year, 2020?
Oh, absolutely. Shady Hill, Butler, Oakshade, Thunderbird, I-96, Gas City.
All pretty nice facilities.
Any dates on those locked down yet, or is
Nobody's
it still
doing their 2020 schedules yet.
I did get guarantees from them that we are there. I just have to call back more towards the end of the season and lock in the dates. And then, we'll be posting dates after that.
What about?
And we feel like we've done a really good job on the payout. Our minimum show to the winner is going to be $800 to win.
Okay.
Minimum. That's just a regular show. We have several special events in 2020 that will pay more.
What's it pay to start if you make the feature?
100 tow. I don't care how far you back. And the way our contracts are written, if you take the track at an event, you're getting tow.
Yeah, if you go out and hot lap and you blow a transmission up, you're getting tow. If you have a legitimate breakdown and you can't run the race, you're getting tow.
How many racers do you have committed to run the series?
I'm really confident that we have a really good field. It continues to grow.
We'll have a full series.
Yeah.
Okay. Any names you can drop yet?
Nothing we can drop.
Okay. Figured I'd check.
Well, some of these guys race at tracks or whatever, have personal reasons. They say just don't launch our names yet, but we're in.
Now, I know that there's some tracks up in Michigan that are playing with chassis rules that are requiring that the racers use an older chassis. You're not going to clamp anything down on that? I mean, if somebody wants to come in with a Rocket XR1, God bless them, right?
Oh, wait. No, we got a catch for you there. You're going to run a steel-bodied shock.
Okay.
It's not going to be adjustable by any means.
No gas pressure or anything?
You are going to run one spring on every shock. No stack, no progressive, and one shock per wheel.
Okay, so no left rear behind?
No bite shock, so forth, so on.
Okay.
Again, we're talking.
And I think that will kind of keep it an even playing field no matter how new or old your chassis is.
Sure.
Talking to Mike and Jay from the Great Lakes Crate Series. How long have you guys been working on putting this together? Because it sounds like you guys have been at this for a while. You got a lot figured out.
About 2 years.
Okay. So I guess other than trying to make for better racing and saving some bucks for the racers, any other reasons you guys decided to take on this endeavor?
One thing that we saw missing in a lot of people's racing is fun.
Well, and we've expressed that same opinion here on Hammer Down, that when you take the fun out of racing, the racers start going away because at our level, Lord knows we're not in it for the money.
No. And if you are, put it on the trailer and show it at a car show because that's the only way you're going to win.
Now, is there a cost for drivers that want to run this series, and is there like a points system, that pays at the end of the year? Will there be a champion?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a cost. Now, so you understand we are Dirt Car sanctioned. Not only did when we approached Dirt Car did they make us our own series, they made us our own division too.
Okay.
So, you have to sign up for Dirt Car, but you do that through us. And there's definitely going to be a points fund. I'm very confident that our points fund is continuing to grow. We have very good sponsors on board for our points fund. Not only are we just looking at a money points fund, we're looking at a product point fund too.
Well, contingencies are good.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and there's some good ones. There's some really good ones. Let's just say Willie's really did a wonder for that.
Yeah. Every sponsor we have now, from our fuels, One Ethanol, American Ethanol is one of our sponsors, Willie's is one of our sponsors, Dominator is one of our sponsors. The list is getting out there pretty good. All them guys, it wasn't just about money for the points fund. Yeah, we made them give stuff, but we also made them give product, because it's important to racers. If I give you a case of oil, I did you a favor.
Sure.
And that means a lot to you. Hoosier Tire. We're running Hoosier Tires. We made Hoosier Tire give us some tires to give away at the races to our drivers, because let's face it, tires aren't cheap neither.
You were talking about Willie's carburetors, and in the same breath, you mentioned ethanol. Is Willie's going to be providing like an E85 carburetor? Or are they going to be
the entire series is One Ethanol S-based E85 fuel.
Yep.
It is a spec fuel.
Oh, okay.
And Willie's made a custom carburetor strictly for our series for us.
Okay.
If you go onto our site and look at it, there's a picture of the carb on there. They are just gorgeous. They did a beautiful job.
That fuel will be available from you at the tracks?
Yep, we'll have it at our race shop, and then that's where we keep our cars. And then we will also have it at the track at every race.
Okay.
Where are you guys based out of?
Coldwater, Michigan.
Coldwater. Okay.
I've heard of them.
What I guess as far as people that may be interested in doing this series, what kind of travel can be expected? Like, what are you trying to keep it in Michigan, Ohio, or is it going to expand beyond that? How far?
We've got Indiana tracks, obviously, and we've got one that just kind of pushes over there, getting into the neighborhood of Illinois.
Okay. So, but
we are trying to simplify some of it, so we know if we have a spread on some tracks, because we have drivers from 4 states already registered, pre-registered. So what we're going to try to do is, for our drivers, for the cost, we'll try to catch them on a show on Friday coming up and give them a show on Saturday coming out.
Gotcha. How many, do you guys have any idea about how many shows you want to have on the schedule for 2020?
18 to 25.
Okay. That's total shows, not just weekends.
That's total shows.
That's total shows.
We're going to take, the plan is 1 weekend off a month for family.
Okay. If people are interested in finding out more about this series, how can they get a hold of you? Tracks, drivers, fans?
Facebook, of course, Great Lakes Crate Series, and on the web, we have GreatLakesCrateSeries.com.
All right. Well, we wish you guys the best. Look forward to seeing you at a track sometime in 2020, or maybe even before then. Any idea when you might have a schedule ready? Like shooting for like January, maybe?
No. We want to have something together by the close of the year.
Okay.
Scott, I got a spare chassis sitting around.
Do you?
Yeah.
I heard from a guy over by you that he had an old '97 car sitting around that he might just have to pull out.
No, this one's newer than that, but yeah, that could be fun.
Oh, well, you guys got Ron interested there. So.
Hey, Ron, we'll take you, buddy.
Yeah. What about a guy my age being Rookie of the Year? Is that possible?
Well, there ain't going to be no Rookie of the Year because it's beginning season, but
the champion's
you
rookie.
run less than 7 races and you look at 2021.
Oh, man, I'm not planning that far ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? We are, and you just never know what might pop up in 2021 because late models is not the end of the plan.
Right.
Oh. All right. Well,
and I'll give you guys one more thing. I know that I got some calls from some guys that got some bad taste over some crate series at other places. People don't want to see one start and close. I assure you we're already working on our 2021 stuff. We're not going anywhere. There's too much time into this for us to let it go.
all right. Well, we appreciate the time. We look forward to seeing you guys at the track.
Thanks a lot, and we'll be talking to you more.
Hey, we might sneak up on you again someday, Scott.
All right. Sounds good.
Later.
Thanks,
guys.
Mike and Jay there from Great Lakes Crate Series. They had all the answers. Yeah,
they did. They've thought it out, Scott.
I had no idea really about this series until I saw something on Facebook the other day and was like, what is this?
800 to
and
win.
I know you're all into these crate things.
800 to win in today's late model world is really kind of anemic, but if there really is cost containment and you're on an E85 fuel that's not outrageously expensive, it could be fun to play with.
All right. We're going to hear from Matt from
Silver Bullet Speedway.
Yeah, in probably about 3 minutes or so we'll keep an eye on it. He's calling in. Before we get to that, last week, the All-Star race.
Yes.
Yeah. Before we get to that, truck race was Friday night, and Kyle Busch won again.
Amazing.
I know. It's crazy.
Imagine that.
That was his 6th straight win in the trucks. They're off for a couple weeks, so he's not going to win anymore. I don't even know if he can race anymore because there's like a limit on how many the Cup drivers can run in. So
he's probably
may be
maxed
done.
out.
Yeah. Kyle Larson became the first driver in All-Star history to win the Open and then win the All-Star race. So congratulations to Mr. Larson there.
Yeah.
And apparently Clint Boyer wasn't too pleased with Ryan Newman after the race.
Yeah, and Ryan's a big boy, so that must have had Clint Boyer really
I didn't.
PO'd.
I'm still not really sure exactly what happened. We were out at the track, so I didn't see it, and I just saw the replay of the fight and the little stuff after the race where they were kind of hitting each other.
A couple of clips where Clint was not at all pleased.
Reaching in the window. He didn't even take his helmet off, just ran over and was throwing him punches in Newman while he was in his car, and then they talked, and then they went
they're good buddies, and
they went to the trailer there, where was it? Ryan Newman after drive. He's a fist fly. I did read something that Stewart said, Tony Stewart, the car owner for Boyer. He said, next time you need to take your helmet off before you go over and fight. That's what he said.
That was his only.
That was pretty much it. Yeah.
But
I did have more on this. Where did that go? It was down here.
Dive in, Jimmy.
Was that before or after he won at Atomic Saturday?
I don't know. I don't know when he said that. It probably would have been.
It
probably would have been after.
You just didn't bring it up that he won down there.
Yeah, I did see that too. NASCAR commented on the scuffle. Quote, they had a little difference of opinion out there on the track, according to Scott Miller. They had a difference of opinion here in the trailer. It is expected no penalties will be issued, but NASCAR will keep an eye on the situation.
That Have At It Boys is really starting to get exciting.
Yeah, maybe it needs something.
The first couple of years was kind of boring, but yeah.
Coming up this weekend, the Xfinity Series will be at Charlotte Motor Speedway on Saturday for the Alsco 300. Not sure what that is. That's at 1 o'clock on Saturday. On FS1, Monster Energy Cup Series has the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock on Fox. And I haven't heard anybody doing the double duty trying to do the...
but preceding the race at Charlotte is the Indy 500.
Yeah. 1 week after Simon Pagenaud won his first race in 23 races, he put his Penske team Menard Chevrolet on the pole for the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500 with a 4-lap average of just a measly 229.992 miles per hour.
Danica Patrick, race commentator. Actually, she did okay.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Indy 500 airs on NBC with coverage starting at 11 a.m. on Sunday.
They actually had more than the 33 cars. They had 36 cars entered.
Yeah, that one guy from McLaren got bumped.
Yeah, did you happen to watch that qualifying and bump series? Oh, grab the phone.
All right, let's check this out. Hammer Down Race Report. Is this Matt?
Yeah, it's Matt.
Hey, Matt.
How you doing, bud?
Pretty good. Silver Bullet Speedway, right?
You got it. In good old Owendale, Michigan.
Right. I got a message last week. Was it from Nick? I think that's who it was.
Yeah, it was probably from my brother Nick.
Yeah. So you guys...
He's unfortunately at work right now, so...
You guys run the track up there?
Yep, we own the track. We've owned it. This is our 7th season of owning it, and
we've been doing nothing but improvements because it was really run down when we bought it, and we've brought it a long ways.
All right. Well, before we talk about your big race coming up this weekend, give us a little history on Silver Bullet Speedway.
Well, it was opened in 1955 by the Alexander family, and he bought it in 53, opened it in 55, and they ran it for a number of years, and then there's another owner after that. I forgot his name. And then we had Ron Berry owned it, and then Mary Dom owned it, and then we bought it from Mary Dom, like I said, 7 years ago. And it's the longest, can't say it's per se oldest dirt track, but it's the oldest running dirt track in Michigan that's never been shut down. There's a couple that are older, but they were shut down for a number of years. So we're the longest continuously run, never closed dirt track in Michigan.
What's the track configuration?
It's a big quarter, small 3/8. The actual measurement on the track is dead center. And if you measure ours at the bottom, it's a quarter. You measure it at 3/8 at the top. So it's basically big quarter, small 3/8.
You guys, a Saturday night track, weekly track?
Yep, Saturday night, every Saturday at 7:30. We do change it up second weekend or third weekend in August. We actually run on a Thursday opposed to Saturday because it's our big cheeseburger weekend in Caseville. And people have quite a few cocktails there, and it's a pretty big party, and they don't always show up at the track.
So you don't want to interfere with the party.
Exactly, yes. That's and we also do the parade in Caseville, pass out about 10,000 $2 off flyers on Wednesday, and we're hoping those people will come in on Thursday before the big party starts. And the last 2 years, or I'm sorry, last 4 years, we've gotten rained out 3 of the years, and we ran 1 year where it rained all the way around us, but not at the track.
Those are tough.
We haven't had a good idea of how the flyers have worked out for us because of the weather conditions.
What's your weekly program?
We run all 6 classes every week, except for when we have the sprint cars. We run the mini ledge that run in our infield. We have a smaller track for them. It's kids from 6 to I think it's 14. It's basically a late model body with a 6.5 horsepower motor. It's basically a glorified go-kart, racing go-kart. They're actually really cool.
Scott, I've watched a couple of those races, and they're fun to watch.
Oh yeah, they're great, and the kids love it, and it gets kids in racing young before they get any bad habits. So we want to get them young and get a new crop of racers in, because I know, unfortunately, some of the guys are getting older and can't really race anymore, so we need to keep the kids in it. So
congratulations on doing that.
So what other
Thank you.
What other classes do you run weekly?
Then we run our Road Warriors. Those are 4 and 6 cylinder front wheel drive and also 4 cylinder rear wheel drives. That's more of a beginner and cheaper class to get into. And then we run 2 stock car classes. We run our Michigan Street Stock Set. We have the same rules as quite a few of the other tracks in Michigan, so the drivers can go either our track or other tracks, and they know they're legal at any of them running those. And then we also run a bullet stock class, which is our old UMP sanctioned street stocks. That's a step up from the Michigan Street Stocks. And then this year we changed from our pro stock to a pro late. Basically, we're allowing older late models that are kind of obsolete in the late model class to be able to run with that class, but on 8-inch tires.
Jimmy,
and then we run our.
Jimmy, what color car was that we built for up there? Do you remember? We rebodied it.
Yeah, it was black with a green deck and a green spoiler.
Okay, yeah, black and green. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know if he's been out yet, but it was a fun.
You worked on a car that races up
yes,
there.
Yes, it was a fun build. And
that was it Matt Dugan? He just bought a car, but I don't think he bought his turnkey. I'm trying to think, Lenny Gretzky maybe.
No, it
I'm
would,
not. I'm not sure.
this would have been a pretty sharp-looking black car with a green deck. Maybe a green nose too.
I'm trying to remember who it is. Unfortunately, I'm running around like a fool during the races, so
That's
I only
okay.
get to see a small portion of the races. So
I was just pretty interested in the concept. That's where I was headed with that.
right. And then we also run our IMCA Modifieds, which is our national sanctioning body. It's by the largest sanctioning body in the United States for sure, if not in the world. And those are modifieds, are open front wheel. They're by far our fastest class, and they put on a heck of a show. And by us being sanctioned, they run for not only regional points, but state points and national points. They also run for Rookie of the Year. So two of our drivers finished first and second in regional points. I think they were like 9th and 11th in national points, and then another one of our female drivers that runs in the class, she ended up Rookie of the Year for our region.
Well, that's
so
pretty
that was
cool.
Pretty cool. Yep, she also was a stock car a couple years back and won her points championship, and she was the youngest UMP female to ever win a track championship.
What's her name?
Victoria Trumner. She's 16 years old, but she won it when she was 14, the championship. So
impressive. So you got a big IMCA modified event this weekend, right?
Yep, no, it'd be June 1st. This weekend we actually are running our normal class, plus we're running a Power Wheels demo derby for the kids. It's basically it's basically they're on Power Wheels. They have a balloon on the front and a balloon on the back, and whoever has one balloon or two balloons left at the end and everybody else is popped, then they're the winner of it. It's a fun event. We're hoping to grow that, because if anybody gets a chance, go on YouTube and punch in kids Power Wheel Demo Derby and watch some of the videos. It is a hoot. So
those are fun.
It's a good time. And then June 1st is when we're running our big Sam O'Connor Memorial. Sam O'Connor raced up here for years, back in the vintage days when they were running the open wheel modifieds, and then his two sons, Kenny and Brian, ran up here for years in all different classes, and now the grandkids are running up here. So, hold on, I got to shut off my water truck, it's overflowing. But, now, exactly. So, they're now their his grandkids his son's kids are running up here. So what we did is Sam passed away a couple years ago, and we talked to the boys and decided to do a Sam O'Connor Memorial. And since we talked, they've raised over $8,500 for the purse, and it's going to be 37 laps. And it's going to be $3,700 to win, and then we'll split the $8,500 going back. Not split it, but we'll add to our normal payout going back. For all the other cars, and so it's going to be a heck of a payout. And the reason it's 37 laps and $3,700, that was Sam's number, was 37. So
I would have guessed
came
that.
up with that. So we got that. So we're super excited about that. And what that also does is any race over $1,000 in the IMCA sanctioning puts them in the Fat Shaft, what is it? It's the Fat Shaft Race of Champions. And so they're qualified for that down when they do their Super Nationals in Boone, Iowa. That's their big Super Bowl of races for the IMCA. go ahead.
I was just going to say this race, the 3,700 to win. That's a week from Saturday, June 1st.
Yes.
Correct? Okay.
Yes, correct. June 1st, and then June 8th we have autograph night where all the drivers line up in the infield, and we open the gate so that the spectators can come down and get autographs. And they usually bring candy and some cards to sign, and we give them autograph sheets. So it's a great time for the kids. And then June 15th, we have our first sprint car night. It's MTS Sprints, Michigan Traditional Sprints.
Right.
They put on a heck of a show. We had top two guys last year almost every time they came out. they were pulling both front wheels off the ground down the front back straight or back stretch. So they put on a heck of a show. It's a good time.
Have you heard from these guys from the Great Lakes Crate Series?
No, I have not yet.
Okay.
So that's the new series, I guess, to come out. I saw a little bit on it, but I haven't heard from it yet. But we look at everything. We've had a handful of series come through, and some are real good, some are okay.
All right, you guys, do you have if people want to get more information on Silver Bullet Speedway, you got a website?
Yep, it's silverbulletspeedway.com, or you can go on Facebook, just punch in Silver Bullet Speedway, and it'll be the one in Owendale, Michigan. And then, like I said, we also have a big mud park for mud bogs. And this weekend,
you guys have a lot of fun up there.
Whatever it takes to try and keep the money coming in and keep it so we can keep doing improvements to the facility. So with racing only 18 times a year, and with rainouts we only usually get 14 or 15 nights in, it's kind of hard to run a business with that few nights. So we got to offset some of our costs by doing some other things up here. And the mud bogs seem to really work out well for us. We had the property, so we started with a small little field, and we've expanded it, and then 3 or 4 times now, and then we put in a 750-person bleacher set, guardrail all the way around it, a 5-foot deep and wide ditch, so that the trucks will go in the ditch before they'd even get to the guardrail / get to the people. So we've made it real safe, and that really helps with the improvements on the track, because this year we put half of our new front stretch fences all up with new poles. We put 2 46-foot light poles in the infield with all new 1,500-watt spotlights on them. And plus, we redid our concession booth. We redid our gift shop. So every year we take 2 or 3 big projects, try and get those done, along with all the small projects. So the mud bog really helps with financially helping with that. So
Have you guys thought about doing any winter racing? There's a track over there in mid-Michigan that has a winter race, and Dusky Speedway does a hangover race on New Year's Day.
We thought about it. The only problem is we don't live up here, and I live 2 hours away. My brother's about an hour and a half away, and we have to winterize our whole track because none of our buildings are heated. So to do something with the winter race, I thought about it, but it would be a lot of preparation to unwinterize our facility and all the trucks and equipment, and then re-winterize them. It's about a day-and-a-half process to do that. So we'd thought about it, but the time to put into it to offset the cost of it, I don't know if it would be worthwhile for us. We've thought about snowmobile races and so on and so forth, but we also have MPX and Lucky Thumb that actually have huge ponds that they do those races on, and so those wouldn't be worthwhile because one does them one weekend, one does them the following weekend. So
gotcha.
That's the only thing there is with living so far away and with none of the buildings being heated, it's just kind of hard to financially see if it would work or not.
All right, well, we got to get moving here. We appreciate you giving us some time. Talking about.
Well, thanks for having me, and come on out to Silver Bullet Speedway. Like you said, this weekend we're racing Saturday at 7:30, and then we have a mud bog Sunday at 1 o'clock, and that usually goes till about 6, and then we'll have a big bonfire and do that afterwards because most people don't have to work on Monday.
All right,
Matt, we appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Bet.
From
Silver Bullet Speedway.
Yeah, I'm thinking there might be a lot of mud bogs going on.
Yeah, our local track had those last weekend.
Yeah. So that was Matt from Silver Bullet Speedway up there in the thumb of Michigan. Sounds like they have a lot of fun up there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
A few other news items before we get to this weekend's upcoming racing and Ryan Weekman's weekend weather pit stop forecast coming up here momentarily as well. The 2020 NASCAR Hall of Fame class was announced yesterday afternoon. Interestingly, 3 members of the class worked together for several seasons. as three-time NASCAR Premier Series champion Tony Stewart and 2000 Premier Series champion Bobby Labonte, having both driven for Joe Gibbs Racing and team owner Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
All three will be inducted into the Hall of Fame on January 31st. The other two inductees are Buddy Baker and crew chief Waddell Wilson. Waddell
Wilson.
I'm going with... When did he race? Or when did he crew chief?
He was, lots of years ago. Way before you, Scott. Don't worry.
Then he's Waddell.
No, he's not. He's Waddell.
In addition, NASCAR announced that Edsel Ford II earned the 2020 Landmark Award for outstanding contributions to NASCAR. The the NASCAR Hall of Fame voting panel met Wednesday in a closed session, and that was it. They narrowed it down from the 20 to those 5. So congratulations.
Yeah.
How come your name wasn't in there?
Oh, too young.
Did you hear about this? Two-time Indianapolis 500 winner Al Unser Jr. was arrested by Avon, Indiana police early Monday morning.
What, Little Al's in trouble again?
Little Al. He was charged with operating while intoxicated.
Oh, imagine that.
The 57-year-old Unser has had previous brushes with the law. He was previously arrested for drunk driving in Nevada in 2007 and New Mexico in 2011.
Yeah, well.
Did you hear about this guy that escaped, an inmate escaped and stole a race car in Louisiana?
No.
Bell Chase, C-H-A.
Bell Chase, Maryland?
No, Louisiana.
Oh.
He led police on a wild chase. It was a dirt oval race car, they said. It didn't say what kind. It was a street stock or, a late model or whatever.
I saw a picture. It kind of looked like an Oakshade Sportsman almost.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess he ended up crashing into a ditch and he ran away.
Wasn't much of a racer, was he?
No, he probably shouldn't have.
How about that lady that was intoxicated and ran the police on a pretty wild chase in her motorhome?
I saw a video
with two
of that.
dogs on her lap.
Yeah,
that was pretty crazy, too.
Cale Yarborough. He was crew chief for Cale Yarborough?
Yeah.
See, I know Cale. Well, I don't know him, but I know of him.
Okay. Because you were told.
Yeah. So last week we played How Many, right? And
we did.
We guessed how many we would get signed up
for. You kind of have to add one to the list.
Why?
To make it.
To this list?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Probably me, because I took enough crap at the beginning of the show for it.
So Jimmy Ward Jr. is added to the list. Doug Dock, you're going to have to add Jimmy Ward Jr. Well, you're still probably going to have to fill out the form, just so you get on the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last week we guessed how many would sign up. You said 18. Kathy said 20.
And you took the under.
I took 17, and we have 8, so I'll take the 8.
I tried.
You did. You didn't help out, really.
I tried.
You did. This weekend... oh, wait, no, let's... This week's how many? Let's play how many All-Stars are going to be at Fremont on Sunday. It's the return of the All-Star Circuit of Champions, since 2015, I think it is? I think it was longer than that. But it's been a few years, yeah. How many do you think are going to show up there?
Does Ryan Weekman factor into this?
No, he does not.
Okay. It's going to be a huge field. I'm thinking 38.
What are you thinking there?
Mr. Ward?
I'm going to have to say like 40. 40... I'll go 45.
45, all right.
Mrs. Miller?
38.
Wait, that's what he said.
I said 38. Come on, be original here, woman.
37.
Okay. What do you think, Scott?
I don't know. I don't know where I want to go with this one. I'm going to go 39.
Depends on how many make it through.
It also, and a lot's going to depend on the weather, too. And, we'll see. Again, Ryan Weekman's forecast coming up momentarily. This weekend, Limaland was going to have their opener for the 5th straight week. Probably the 4th. I'm exaggerating a little bit. But they canceled already. That place has just been inundated with rain. So don't go to Limaland tomorrow night because they're not running. Hopefully next weekend they can get their first show in. If not, wait, is next weekend? No, that's the 31st. So they could still get their first show in May if they don't rain out next Friday.
Right.
Attica is scheduled to be in action tomorrow night with the All-Star Circuit of Champions. That's they have they're in Ohio for
Right.
3 nights. Attica on Friday. I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. It's been a crazy week. I haven't gotten any sleep. Wayne County on Saturday and Fremont on Sunday. It's the Ollie's Bargain Outlets All-Star Circuit of Champions, UMP Late Models, 3L5 Sprints at Attica Raceway Park tomorrow night. Gates open at 4, racing at 7:45. General admission tickets are $22 for that. Saturday night, Oakshade Raceway will be in action with the American Late Model Series, $2,000 to win for that. You guys both can be competing for that, $2,000?
Yeah.
Okay. UMP Sportsman, Bombers, and Compacts will be in action. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission is $14 there. Fremont Speedway is going to host. They have a doubleheader this weekend. They're running Saturday and Sunday. Saturday night, it's the American Power Sports Armed Forces night with the Fast 410 series and the 305 sprints. Gates open at 4, racing at 7. General admission's $10 for that.
I wonder how many of those 410 guys from the Fast Series
will stick around.
will do double duty that weekend.
We'll find out. Flat Rock in action Saturday night as well. It's Varsity Automotive Group Joy Fair Memorial 100. I remember watching Joy Fair when I was in high school.
I remember racing with Joy Fair.
Yeah, my parents were telling me, when I was dating your mom, we used to watch Joy Fair at Flat Rock all the time. It's like, this guy's like 1,000,000 years old.
He was cool.
He was great when he was 1,000,000 years old. He was,
and you would never,
races.
looking at him, you would never think that he was a race car driver. He looked like a school teacher.
So they're having the Joy Fair Memorial 100 featuring the ARCA Gold Cup late models going 100 laps at Flat Rock on Saturday night. Street Stocks are having a retro night with dashes and pursuits. That's kind of cool.
Yay.
Pits open at 2, front gates at 4, racing at 7 at Flat Rock. $20 for general admission for that event. Sandusky Speedway in action with the Midwest Super Modified Series, the MSS, Lake Erie stocks as well. Beginner stocks, Renegades, pits open at 3, front gate at 4, racing at 7. General admission $17 for that event at Sandusky Speedway on Saturday night. Sunday. I didn't put Sunday on here.
Sunday night.
Ooh, and I didn't listen to Weekman's forecast here. Sunday night, Fremont Speedway. The Computer Man, it's Computer Man night featuring the All-Star Circuit of Champions, the triumphant return to Fremont Speedway. Also, the dirt trucks will be in action. Gates open at 3, racing at 7. General admission $22 on Sunday at Fremont. Eldora, Sunday night, Johnny Appleseed Classic, presented by Miller Lights. It's going to be the American Late Model Series, NRA Sprint Invaders, UMP Modifieds, and Eldora Stocks. Pit gate opens at 3, spectator gate at 4, racing at 7:30. General admission is $19. And then looking ahead to next week, next Thursday night, it's night number 1 of the Sprint Car World Championship at Mansfield Motor Speedway.
Whoa.
Yeah. 1,000 to win, 100,000 to win the main event there. We'll have more on that next week, but the night 1 will be next Thursday. So, and I'm thinking I may have left off the part about Sunday for Fremont in Eldora to Ryan in our forecast, and I didn't listen to the forecast. I just dumped it in, and so this could be interesting.
Yeah, well, let's see what he's got to say.
Let's find out how the racing's going to be. Again, the subject of his email back to me: don't blame the messenger.
This is your weekend weather pit stop forecast. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman. As we get into the warm season here, a full slate for our Memorial Day weekend. Friday races at this point looking to be the safest from any rain chances. Limaland and Attica, both races should be a go with pleasant race time conditions, dry tracks, and temperatures that will largely be in the 60s. As we go towards Saturday, Flat Rock, I know the race is until 7 o'clock, but several rounds of earlier in the day rain could spell trouble for the track. As for Oakshade and Fremont, 7 p.m. start times, that could be interrupted by race time showers and thunderstorms. May get the green flag to go, but keep an eye to the sky on the north side of the tracks. That's where any potential showers and thunderstorms will likely be dropping out of through the evening. Now on to our Sunday races taking place at Sandusky, Fremont, and Eldora. This is a little bit of a trickier one. I think by and large, most of the rain is out of the area by the scheduled race times, but overnight showers and downpours Saturday night and scattered rain during the day on Sunday could mean another washout at many of the local tracks on Sunday. Not what we want to see, and the weather pattern really isn't breaking down anytime soon. Could see more scattered rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and as temperatures are now warmer, those downpours get a little bit heavier as we get set to flip the calendar into June. This has been your weekend weather pit stop forecast. Be sure to download that free First Alert weather app. I'm First Alert meteorologist Ryan Weekman.
Yeah, Ryan was right. I was wrong. That's why I was confused. Yeah. Sandusky is actually on Sunday this week.
Okay.
The Midwest Super Modified Series, that is actually a Sunday night event, along with Fremont and Eldora. So apparently I did send them the right information. My Sunday's just on this page. Yeah, it's right there. That's what happens when I don't.
And a little bit early.
Huh?
On a little early on Sunday?
No,
late afternoon?
It's 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
7 o'clock. Actually, both Fremont and Sandusky are 7, and Eldora scheduled to start at 7:30. But fingers crossed on the weather. It's been rough. It's been a rough spring as far as rain. I hate it. So thanks to Dave Kemmer for helping me out with keeping up to date with what's going on as best as I can. It's been very hectic the past few weeks, even with only having raced once. So.
Yeah, well, your boy's been racing nearly every day. So
well, if he makes it to state, the track season will go another week, and I'll have a couple more trips to Columbus. But
well, let's hope that he does.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow, and then we'll be out at Oakshade hopefully Saturday night for the ALMS event.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens on Sunday. Walleye, Toledo Walleye.
Yeah.
Kelly
they
Cup
go
Finals.
Off, tomorrow?
Game 1 is, it's Saturday night. And Game 2 is Sunday.
Downtown?
Nope, in Newfoundland.
Okay.
They're going to Canada,
now, that's 2,200 miles, Scott, was what I heard.
It's far.
On a bus?
A 50-hour bus ride and I think 5-hour ferry ride, I want to say. 5-hour boat ride that runs once
Planes, trains, automobiles, and ferry boats.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel bad for those guys, but...
I feel bad for a 50-hour bus ride.
That's crazy.
That was difficult.
Can't we get these guys a plane? Any big sponsors?
I would imagine
these
there's
guys
still snow on the ground that far.
Newfoundland's not that far north. But good luck to Toledo Walleye. They'll be back in town Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday next week.
So all they got to do is win 1 up there, 3 here, and
we're done. We got Kelly Cup champions.
Ooh, baby!
That'd be awesome.
Go Walleye.
It's not a hockey
Go
podcast.
Fish.
Not a hockey podcast. We'll be back next week. Brandon Gregory will be our guest here in the studio, sportsman driver out at Oakshade Raceway. Give Ron Miller Race Cars a call, 734-856-RACE for all your racing needs and advice. Visit hammerdownracingreport.com to get a hold of me, get any information about the show that you need. So we go home.
Let's go home.
We'll be back.
Let's go out to dinner. It's time.
All right. ARCA race coming up about 45 minutes if you're watching us live. If you're listening to us on iHeartRadio, you're probably missing it right now, or you already did. So we'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to the Hammer Down Racing Report from the Ron Miller Race Car Studio. Listen on demand on iHeartRadio.